everyone, and welcome back to Next Stitch Designs with me, Sylvia. In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this iconic Kurt Cobain / Freddy Krueger Iconic jumper. So for today's jumper I will be using Aran weight yarn, and I decided to use this Women's Institute soft and smooth yarn, which is 400 grams, and in each bow I have 660 meters, and it's acrylic yarn, and I will be using 5mm hook with it. I decided to use this deep red, and instead of black I will be using this dark gray, because if I would use black color you would not be able to see what I'm doing. So of course the iconic jumper is with red and black, so it's totally up to you if you want to use the same colors like me or use the black instead of dark gray. Also I used 1.5 bows of each of these bows. Next, as I said, I'll be using 5mm hook for this jumper. I'll be also using these clips, super cheap and very useful. You will also need a pair of scissors, some stitch markers and a yarn needle and a tape measure. So for this jumper you will need two exactly the same panels. So 2 panels front and back, and then we will create the sleeves. So to measure yourself for these panels, you will measure yourself from one side of your body, so it's right here, across your chest, so you will go to the other side, to the other side of your body right here. So I call it from side to side. And then you will add 15 centimeters to one side and 15 centimeters to the other side to make this jumper oversized. So you will have this measurement. Once you have this measurement, we will work on our length, and we will measure from your shoulder all the way down, and that will be your length. So my length is somewhere to my knee, so from the top all the way down to my knee. You can make it longer or shorter, it's totally up to you. Just keep the pattern like this, so 4 rows of red, 4 rows of gray, and so on. Once you get to the top, you will do only 2 rows of gray on one panel and 2 rows of gray on the back panel. Or what you could do, you could also take your favorite oversized jumper and take the measurements. So the measurements would be from side to side. You measure your jumper like so, and that will be your measurement for the width of your jumper, and the same you would do for your length. So you could use your favorite jumper as well. How to crochet the sleeves for this jumper, please check part 2 on my YouTube channel. So we are going to work on this front and back panel, but I am going to show you how to work on it on the small sample later on. So first we are going to create the ribbing, and then we will work on our rows. So I have done 4 rows with red color, then 4 rows with gray color, and so on. So we'll be working like this. So we will create our panels exactly the same. So the length is totally up to you. The width you will measure exactly as I shown you earlier on. So from side of your body to the other side of your body, and then you will add 15 centimeters to each side. So we will start with the ribbing first. So for ribbing, I will chain 8 plus 1. The 1 will be my turning chain. So you will have 8 stitches for your ribbing. Next, we will work on 1 row of single crochet. So for my ribbing, I have 90 rows. So I will have, for this row of single crochet, I will have 90 stitches. And then we will work on our pattern. So the pattern will be 4 rows with red color, then 4 rows with gray color or black color if you like, as it is in original jumper, and so on. You will repeat like so, and you will end up with 2 rows of gray color like this. So your both panels will end up with 2 rows with gray color, so the front one and back one like so. So once we create the shoulder seam, we will have 4 gray rows together like this. So we will create the panels, we will sew the seams for the shoulders, and then we will attach the sleeves. Once we have the sleeves, we will sew the seams on one side and on the other side, and then we will work on our head opening or the collar. And for this jumper, I use around 900 meters of red color, 900 meters of this dark gray. Of course, you can use black color as it's supposed to be for this iconic jumper, but if I would use black color, you won't be able to see anything on the camera. So repeat this pattern, 4 rows with red color, 4 rows with dark gray color. So without the ribbing, I have done 54 rows for my jumper. So now I'm gonna give you the measurements. So the width of my jumper is around 27 inches. In centimeters is around 69 centimeters. And for the length, let me just fold it like this so it's easier to measure. So the length from the shoulder all the way down, I have 30.5 inches all the way down to my ribbing, or 77.5 centimeters. Of course, you could go longer or shorter, just make sure you repeat the pattern and make sure your last 2 rows will be with dark gray. So only 2 rows at the top. Also, when you work on your ribbing, make sure you have even number of rows. So when they go like this, it means 2 rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. So make sure you have even number. So let's get started. First, we are going to start with the ribbing. Hold your yarn and like so, wrap it around your 2 fingers and create a cross. Go under this first one, on top of the second one, pull it down and twist your hook, and this is your slip knot. Now for my ribbing, I have chain of 8 plus 1. The 1 will be my turning chain. And the same way I will start my sleeve. So my ribbing on my sleeves will be 8 plus 1. So you will chain 9, but the 1 extra chain will be your turning chain, and you will have 8 stitches. So work your chain. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we have 8, and now we are going to add one more. This one will be our turning chain. Next we are going to work single crochet into the second stitch from the hook or chain. So insert your hook like so, yarn over, bring it up to loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through into the next one like so. So you will work single crochet all the way across. So from now on you will have always 8 stitches. So you will work your single crochet all the way across to your last chain like so. So my last one is here. So we will finish like so, and now we should have 8 single crochet. Now we are going to chain 1 and we are going to turn our work like so. And this row 2 will be our row repeat. So from now on you will work single crochet but only into the back loop. So we have front loop here and back loop here. We won't work under this front one. We will work single crochet under the back loop only. So front and back, this is our back loop. We will skip chain 1, which is this one here. So work your single crochet into this very first, right here, back loop only. So work your single crochet like so, and again single crochet, back loop only, and you will work single crochet, back loop only all the way across like so. Once you come to your last stage, we will do something a little bit different. So I have few stitches here. So this is my last stitch. We will always work under the full stitch. So full stitch means front loop and back loop. So we will work under the full stitch like so. And this way your edge will look much nicer. So work your single crochet under the full stitch like so. So your edge will be looking better and also it will be much stronger. Chain 1 and turn your work. Now you will repeat this row 2 for the rest of your ribbing or your measurement. And make sure you have even number of rows. So place single crochet, back loop only all the way across. Once you get to your last stage, work under the full stitch like so. Chain 1 and turn your work. So this is our first 2 rows. As you can see, when they go like a little roof, it means 2 rows. So continue working on your length for your measurement. So for this jumper, for size S, M, L, I have done 90 rows. So for my sample piece, to show you how to work on your panels, I created 12 rows. As you can see, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. And now we will be working on this row of single crochet right here. So we created the ribbing, and the next step we'll be working on this single crochet row, and from that row you'll be working on your pattern. So you will still have the same color, this gray color. We will chain 1. So now when they go like so, it means 2 rows. So you will have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So at the top of your 2 rows will be a little space, which is this one here. In that space, we will place 2 single crochet. So 2 single crochet per 2 rows. So where they made, there is a little space, and in that space we will work 2 single crochet on top. So we have first 2 rows here, and we have space on top of those 2 rows. So inside that space you will work 1 single crochet and 1 more. Now find your first one and place a stitch marker. So I'm going to place the stitch marker right here into this very first single crochet, like so. And now we can continue. We are going to find next 2 rows, which are these 2, and on top in the middle is a space. In that space again place your 2 single crochet. Find the next space and work 2 single crochet, like so. So on our jumper I have 90 rows, so I should have 90 stitches, because per 2 rows you're placing 2 stitches. So you should have the same amount of stitches as you have your rows. So if I have 90 rows, I should have 90 stitches. So now I'm here at the end, and I am going to chain 1, and we will fasten off. Before we fasten off, I wanted to show you on our panel. So we have done ribbing, and then we have completed this row of single crochet, and now we can start to work on our pattern. So 4 rows with the red color and 4 rows with the dark gray color all the way up, and we will finish with 2 rows of gray color, both panels. So now we are ready to fasten off. Leave this end longer so you can hide it later on and make it nice and tight. So now we have ribbing and we have row of single crochet. Now we are ready to attach the red color. So insert your hook into your very last stitch and bring your red color like so. Oopsie daisy, I lost it, so I'll just do it one more time. Insert your hook, place your yarn on your hook like so and pull it through. Now attach your yarn with the knot like so, and make sure your end is longer so again you can hide it later on. Now insert your hook into the same place and chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and that's how you're always going to attach a new color. Now we chain 3, and this chain of 3 will count as your first double crochet. Now where is your chain of 3 coming from? That's your very first space here, so we won't work into the one. We will find the next stitch and we will work double crochet into the next stitch like so, and we will work 1 double crochet on top of each stitch like so all the way across. So simply just place 1 double crochet on top of the single crochet like so. Once you come to your stitch marker, we will place our last double crochet. So we have 1 here and the last one. Where is our stitch marker? So yarn over, insert, pull through 2 and pull through 2 like so. Now chain 3 again, 1, 2 and 3, and this chain of 3 will always count as our first double crochet. So we worked here, so this is chain of 3, so that's your first double crochet. We don't work into the same place as our chain of 3. So As you can see, there is a space, but that space is part of our chain 3. So we won't work into the one. Find the next stitch and work double crochet. And again, you will work 1 double crochet across like so. So I am finishing this row, and my last stitch will be always on top of the chain of 3, like so. And you will work 4 rows with red, 4 rows with gray, and so on. This will be your pattern repeat, and remember your last 2 rows will be with the gray color. So you will repeat it like so, 4 4 4 4 4, and so on, and you'll be changing the color. Last 2 rows will be with your dark gray or black color. So in this small sample, I showed you how to work on your rows. So now I will fasten off here just to show you how to change the color again. But remember, you will do your pattern 4 rows with red, 4 rows with gray, and so on for the rest of your panel. So now we have 2, but I should do 2 more. But because you already know how to do the rows, I will just show you how to change the color. So we fasten off, and now we are going to insert our hook into the very last stitch, and make sure when you attach your new yarn, you have this long yarn end, and simply attach it like so with the knot. Nice and tight. Into the same place where you attached your yarn, insert your hook, bring it through, and chain 3. And this chain of 3 will always count as your double crochet. So we don't work into the same place where is your chain of 3 coming from. We will find the next stitch, and again we will work 1 double crochet in each stitch across like so. So with this gray one, you will work again 4 rows all together. So I'm finishing here, and your last double crochet will be on top of the chain of 3 from the last row, like so. Chain 3, turn your work and continue. So that's how you are going to work on your panel. It's super easy. Make sure you will do 2 panels and 2 sleeves for your jumper. And of course, before we sew our cardigan, we will hide the ends. I like to hide the ends into those chain of 3 on the side. So when you sew your cardigan, it will look much nicer. So I usually go like this. So the red end will go in the red part, and the gray end will go in the gray part, like so. And you could go back again. It's totally up to you. Just make sure you hide them properly, like so. So here in ribbing, I will go and hide the end to the side again, and so on. So you will work like so on your panels. So once you have your panels completed, we are going to create the shoulder seams. So first, we are going to place them like so, exactly on top of each other, like this. And it doesn't matter which one is your right side, because the both sides are exactly the same. So usually I choose my wrong side where I have more knots. So place them like this, and once we create the seam, that side will be your wrong side. So the seams will be on the wrong side. So place your panels together like this. So now I have the wrong side at the top, so the right sides will be together because I will be creating the seams. So now fold your panels in half and place the stitch markers right in the middle. So do so on one panel or front panel and back panel. So do exactly the same on the other panel. Once we have the middle of each panel, we will open it like this. So we will place stitch marker on stitch marker and we will prepare our clips. These clips are so handy, they will keep your panels together as you sew. So place them randomly like so for now on one side and on the other side. Just make sure your stitch markers are right in the middle and opposite each other on one side and on the other side. So now place the clips on this side as well, just randomly for now. And now, once you place your clips like this, you will decide how big you want your head opening to be. So the best way is to put it on and mark how wide you want your opening to be. So for my jumper, I counted 30 stitches from the side all the way in on this side, and then I done the same on the other side. So from the edge to inside I counted 30 stitches and then placed my last clip like so. So you will do exactly the same on the other side. Once you have it, we are ready to sew our shoulder seams. So I will show you one side and then you will do exactly the same on the other side. So now as you can see, when we finished our panel here in the front and the back with 2 rows of gray color, when we put it together we will have 4 rows all together at the top as well. So now take your first clip away and find the corner. So first I like to sew it this way, but if you have your preferred way, of course do it as you like, and just make sure you pick the wrong and right side. So the one side now when you create the shoulder seam will be your wrong side. So find the corner and attach your yarn like so. You can do double knot if you like, so it will make it extra strong. Now I like to place my finger right between the layers like so. So go from the inside like this and again from the inside like so. Make sure you go under the stitch. So you will continue sewing like so. Make sure your stitches are not too far apart. So simply sew it like so until you reach your last clip. And here, as you can see, I'm fighting with that end from the start, so I just simply place the clip to keep that end in place. So continue all the way down. Once you are done, you will do the other side. So to finish this side, you will simply work like so. Once you reach your clip, you will work 2 to 3 stitches in one place, and this way the opening will be much stronger, because when you place your jumper on and off it will go through a lot. So you want to keep this opening as strong as possible. So I like to do it like so. So 1 to 2, You can also do 3 stitches in one place, like so. So I like to do 2 to 3 stitches at the start and 2 to 3 stitches at the end, the same way. So you will do so on the other side as well. Before you start to sew, you will do 2 to 3 stitches at the start and simply 2 to 3 stitches at the end. So when you start here, do 2 to 3 stitches, sew all the way down and do 2 to 3 stitches as well. So now we have this beautiful shoulder seam, and before we fasten off, hide your end inside the seam like so you don't have to do it later on. So you will simply hide it and then you will fasten off. And of course do so on the other side once you finish your shoulder seam. Complete your other side. Now you don't need these stitch markers in the middle anymore. So this is our seam completed. Really beautiful. So I have completed this one side and the other side. So we will work on this neck opening once we are done with the sleeves. So we will do sleeves first and then we come back and we will finish this neck opening as a last part of our jumper. So how to crochet the sleeves for this jumper, check out my YouTube channel for part 2, because if I would squeeze these sleeves inside this tutorial would be very long. So we will have in part 2 how to crochet these sleeves. So once you have your sleeves completed, we are going to fold them in half and place the stitch markers right in the middle. And of course do so on both sleeves. So that's my first sleeve and the second one right here. So make sure the corners are matching each other and place your stitch marker right in the middle once you fold your sleeves like so. Next, we are going to sew them in. So where is your seam on your jumper? Make sure before we start, mark your wrong side. So we know it's my wrong side because we created the seams. So all the seams will be on the wrong side. So now turn it the right way up. So this is your right side at the top and this is your wrong side. So that's why we place the stitch marker so we know. So now we are going to place our sleeve. So this is my seam of my jumper, and now I will bring my sleeve and the stitch marker is marking the middle of my sleeve. So I will place the stitch marker right in the middle of that seam we created on our jumper. So the right side of my sleeve and the right side of the cardigan are inside. So make sure the stitch marker is right in the middle. Now you will place sleeve like so on one side and on the other side. Like this, do not overstretch it. So place the clip and now you will count. So I counted 18 rows on my jumper all the way down from that middle clip. So 18 rows on one side from the seam. So 16 plus those 2 gray rows and I will place the clips like so. So just make sure you count on the other side as well. So I will have 18 rows from the seam all the way down. So 16 plus these two at the top. So I should have 18 rows and place the clips like so. Make sure you won't stretch your sleeve or your jumper panels. So that's what we have so far. And now we are ready to sew. Before we do so, make sure you will do exactly the same on the other side. So as I said, we have right sides together. So when you place it like so, now we will sew from there where I'm pointing at all the way down here. And we will sew it exactly the same way as we did our shoulder seams. So just make sure your right sides are inside because we'll be creating the seam right here. Okay, so first I am going to start with the knot as I did on my shoulder seams. You can make a double knot if you like, it's totally up to you. Just make sure you will leave this yarn end longer again so you can hide it later on. Again, you can do 2 to 3 stitches in one place, but here it's not needed as much as it is on the shoulder seams because we'll be creating another seam on the side. So again, I am sewing the same way, placing my finger right between the layers and working the stitches from inside and not too far apart. So you will sew like so all the way to the other side. And I am finishing here. As you can see, I have few stitches left here. So I will finish my few stitches like so. And now again, if you like, you can do 2 to 3 stitches in one place to make it stronger. But as I said, this will go inside the seam as well, so it will be stronger anyway. So finish it, and of course you can hide it inside the seam so you don't need to do it later on. Sew it in properly so when you wash your jumper it won't come undone. So we are done with this part, and of course you will do exactly the same on the other side. So as you can see, the seam is looking amazing. So this is our right side, this is our wrong side. So I have done this side here. So right sides together, and the other side is completed as well. So right side together, where is the seam is my wrong side. So now we are going to make sure you will place the right sides together like so. So the wrong side or all the seams are like so. So that's what we created. So that's the seam. We are still on the wrong side now. So we will try to fold it together like so, the sleeves and also the panels. As you can see, I have the stitch marker on top to mark my wrong side. So you will fold your sleeve on this side like so. So the edges are together. And now we'll be sewing from your sleeve all the way down to the bottom of our cardigan. So let me just place it the right way so you can see on the camera. So we will sew all the way here and then all the way down to your ribbing. And you will do so on one side, and of course you will do exactly the same on the other side. So before we start, just make sure you will use your pegs again or the clips, and also make sure your rows are matching, so they should be nicely in line like this, as we don't want the sleeves to be twisted. So place your pegs or clips. If you don't have these little clips, you can use your pegs. It's just holding your panels in the place while you sew. So now where is the ribbing? Place your clips again. And of course, make sure the rows are matching on this part of the jumper as well. So place your clips on the side. You can use even more if you like this. Maybe one more here we can squeeze. So that's all we have. Let's just put one in the middle here. So now we will be sewing. You can start from the bottom and finish here at the top of your sleeve, or start from your sleeve and work your way down. It's totally up to you. And again, we will sew exactly the same way as we did on our shoulder seams. So I'm going to start at the bottom, and again, just make sure when you create the knot, you could do again 2 to 3 stitches in one place, as when you wear your jumper and you place it on and off, it will go through a lot. So it's very good when you do so, and it will make it much stronger. You could do 2 or 3, it's totally up to you. So we'll start like so. I will do just one more into the same place and make sure it's nice and tight. And again, I will sew it exactly the same way as we did on our shoulder seams. Place your finger between the layers to see the stitches better, and also make sure the stitches are not too far apart. And as you work, check on your rows if they are still matching from both sides. So continue sewing all the way up to your sleeve like so. And I am nearly at the top, so I am on this ribbing part of my sleeve. As you can see, let me just zoom in so you see better. And on the ribbing part, you will do exactly the same what you did on your sleeve and the side seam. So you will finish your sleeve like so. Once you come to your corners, again, you will do 2 to 3 stitches. But of course, it's optional. It's totally up to you. I just like to give you tip so you can sew it even better. So I am here at the corner. So make sure your corners are matching. Like so, and I will do 1 to 2 or 3 stitches in one place, and then we will fasten off like so. And as you can tell, I will hide my end inside the seam so I don't have to do it later on. And I lost the end, and these yarn needles are so good. You will simply just thread it in like so. Even if you have a short end, these yarn needles are really good. So hide the end, and once it's in, simply just cut your yarn and we are done. So as you can see, it's looking amazing. So we done this long seam, and we will do exactly the same on the other side. So just double check what we did here. We created this seam on the side of our panels and also the sleeves. So next we are going to work on this neck opening. Before we do so, we are going to turn our jumper so the right side is on top, like so. So all the seams will be on the wrong side. So that's what we have. And now we can finish our opening. So before we start, we are going to start in the middle of your panel. It doesn't matter if it's the front one or back one, but once you choose the middle, that panel will be your back panel. So now we are going to attach the yarn and we are going to chain 1. So this chain 1 is not counting as your stitch, so you will work single crochet into the same place. And now we are going to place a stitch marker into your very first single crochet, like so. So this panel where we picked the middle will be the back panel, so the back of our jumper. So now you will simply work 1 single crochet all the way around. Once you come to your shoulder seam, I show you what to do next. And now I am very close to the shoulder seam, and as you can see, I have last stitch left here on one side and last stitch on the other side. Insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over and bring it up into the next stitch, yarn over and bring it up. And now we are going to work 2 single crochet together. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops like so. Work single crochet in every stitch until you get to the other side where was your other shoulder seam. So we went all the way around and we came to this other shoulder seam, and again we have 1 stitch left on one side and on the other side, so we will do 2 single crochet together. So grab one stitch and the other one and pull through all 3 loops like so, and again work your single crochet until you get to your start. So work single crochet until you get to your stitch marker right here. So I am finishing, and where was my stitch marker? I will simply slip stitch like so. And now we are going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And there will be my ribbing, as I want the same ribbing as we did at the bottom of our jumper and also on the sleeves. So now we'll be working on our ribbing. Chain 1 more, and then 1 more will be our turning chain. Now skip the chain 1 and work single crochet into the second chain from the hook. From now on you will have 5 stitches. So 1, 2, work single crochet all the way down, so we have 3, and if you want you could place the stitch marker into your very first stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 single crochet like so, and from now on your ribbing will be always 5 single crochet. Now as you can see, this is the part of our chain, so do not work there. As you can see, that's the space and that's the part of our starting chain. Ignore that one, find the next stitch and work slip stitch like so. So that's your first slip stitch. Find the next stitch and work 1 more slip stitch like so. Now turn your work. It will be a little bit heavy as your jumper is quite big, so just be patient. Now skip those 2 slip stitches. So I skipped 1 slip stitch and the second one. Now find the stitch and work single crochet but only back loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, but into the last one you will work single crochet but under the both loops. So front and back loop like so. As you can see, we have front and back loop, and you will always do so. Chain 1 and turn your work like so. And again you will skip the chain 1 and you will work single crochet into the back loop only. So skip the chain 1 and work your single crochet back loop only right here. Insert your hook and work single crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The 5th one is always a little bit trickier to find. Again, ignore that space right at the bottom, as we already worked there, as you can see. So now you will find the next stitch, which is this one here, and work slip stitch. Again, work slip stitch, so you will always have 2 slip stitches like so. Turn your work. As you can see, again you will skip those 2 slip stitches, so skip 1 and skip the second slip stitch, and again work single crochet back loop only, and you should always have 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one you will always work under the full stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work. Again, your jumper is very heavy, So just make sure you turn it completely. And again, skip the chain one and work into the next one, single crochet, back loop only. And you should have 5 single crochet for the rest of your color. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one here, like so. And again, do not work directly under inside that space here. Do not work there, because that's the part of our last row. And again, slip stitch into the next stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch, like so. Turn your work again, skip those 2 slip stitches, so skip the one, and again work single crochet back loop only for 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one under the full stitch. Chain 1 and turn your work. So that's how you are going to work on your ribbing all the way around. And once you come to your start, you will close your ribbing with the sewing. So continue like so all the way around. If you need to, please rewind this video. And now, as you can see, I will do slip stitch here and one more slip stitch. I can squeeze, and I will do my last row all the way up. So again, skip those 2 slip stitches and work single crochet back loop only for 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last stitch will be under the full stitch, like so. Chain 1. Now we won't do any more rows. As you can see, if I will go down and then up, I would have no space for it. So make sure you will finish like me at the top. Okay, so now we will sew this part. Before we do so, we are going to leave a little bit longer, and so simply just chain 1, and we are going to fasten off, but we will have to leave this and a little bit longer, about 30 centimeters, 20 to 30 centimeters. And now fasten off like this, make it nice and tight. And now you will need your yarn needle, so simply thread this end like this, and now fold it like so. So this is my right side, and we will turn it like this, so the right sides are together, and we will create this little seam. So we will find the corners like so, and you can do 2 stitches in one place, 1 to 2 or 3, like this. But now you will sew it a little bit different. I will sew it like so. So I will go through both layers, and I will create these loops at the top like this. So you go from the top through both layers like this, and that's how you are going to create this seam. And that seam will be on your back panel, like so, all the way down. Like this, and you can't even see, it's blending in beautifully. So we will fasten off here like so, and we will hide this end inside the seam and also the other end as well. So simply hide it like so, properly, and cut it off, and also the other end as well inside the seam. And it's looking amazing. You can't even see the seam, it's blending in really well. So if you have a short end like me, it's very good to use this yarn needle and simply just thread it like so, and just simply hide it in. Cut the yarn off and we are done. Stretch it a little bit, give it a nice shape, and we completed our neck opening or head opening. So the seam is right in the middle at the back. So that's what we have. We have this beautiful color for our jumper. It's looking amazing. I really love it. So this is our jumper completed. Really easy. We use only simple stitches like slip stitch, single crochet and double crochet, so I think it's perfect for beginners. So this is our collar, our panels, the seam which is at the back, our sleeves. Don't forget to check part 2, how to create these sleeves. As you can see, they're looking amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, how to crochet Kurt Cobain or Freddy Krueger Iconic jumper. You could make it in black and red, it's totally up to you, but if I would make it in black color, you would not be able to see anything on the camera. So that's why I decided to go with the dark gray. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to like it, share it, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel Unique Stitch Designs for more ideas from me Sylvia, and please don't forget to find me on social medias. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and TikTok. Thank you very much for watching.